Hello and welcome to This One Thing, a daily video devotional coming to you from First Presbyterian Church of Fort Lauderdale. And together we'll be looking at one text and choosing one thing for you to consider. And we hope that you find this a thought-provoking, encouraging part of your day. Up and at 'em. These are the words of a Twitter post at about 3:30 a.m. Earlier this season from Heat player Jimmy Butler. I'm captivated by the NBA playoffs right now, more specifically by the Miami Heat. And since the beginning of this season, it's just been a fun team to watch. You know, the dynamics of this team are simply just special. You know, the NBA is often referred to as a star-driven league. The hype and speculation around what will be the teams most likely to contend for a championship generally centers around the movement of a handful of just a few players from one team to another. And whichever team is able to sign one or two of these players will contend. Or at least that's the prevailing wisdom. And what the Heat have managed to do to this point is different. After the Eastern Conference Finals Game 2 win last night, head coach Erik Spoelstra and Jimmy Butler were repeatedly asked questions like this. How does your team deal with being down 17 in the third quarter? Or where does your confidence come from in the final minutes of a game? And I always wonder what answers they're hoping for. What are they wanting to hear? Because the actual answer is up and at 'em at 3:30 in the morning. It's preparation. And it's counterculture, because we're always hoping that we're going to get the secret recipe, the get-rich-quick trick, right? The shortcut. The answer here is unpopular. It's not easy, but it's straightforward. It's up and at 'em, long hours of grinding work, consistent effort, and that's it. The results speak to the efficacy of their effort, of the process of this culture. And yet, it so often falls on deaf ears. It's not a fun story to write. Our scripture from the book of John comes from chapter 12, and in it, Jesus has entered Jerusalem, and then we read this. It says, "Nevertheless, many of the authorities actually believed in him, but because of the Pharisees, they did not confess it, for fear that they would be put out of the synagogue." They believed, and yet they wouldn't confess it. You see, the synagogue was the heart or the center of Jewish culture and community life. It was not simply just religious life, but all social life. They would be tossed out of the synagogue, excommunicated from the community. What would be your equivalent group? You know, God calls us to live in ways that are counterculture, that are not popular, that are challenging, that require consistent effort. And as a Jesus follower, you are called to do more than simply believe. You are called, I am going to be called to love people that no one loves, to love people in ways that will make us unpopular, to love people in ways that will threaten our standing within our own community. Are you ready for that? Because there's no trick, there's no shortcut, there's no secret recipe. Because here's the one thing, we are called to be a people that do the hard work of loving people well. So up and at 'em. Be safe. Be well. Have a great weekend, and will see you on Sunday.